Hi, how are you? It's good to see you. It's good to have you here. um, Even though I can't see you in the physical, I know I'll be feeling you here with me, whoever is watching this. It's been a very blessed week. Ones, but like if you're watching this at the time that I posted it, we just had a full moon in Gemini, and I just was really feeling like this felt like the most settled full moon energy, the most like clarity that I felt around a full moon. And I don't know if you felt that too, but if not, I'm wishing that for you. I'm sending that your way. And then SZA dropped her new album, and I just finished listening to it all the way through, and it's so good. So I don't know if you're into SZA, I highly recommend listening to SOS. It's just, yeah, if you're a music lover, I don't know. But regardless, today, coming out of this really nice full moon energy of release and clarity, gaining clarity, the theme that Spirit gave me was next steps. So we're going to be getting some advice, some guidance around what's next for us. So let's start off by praying, grounding ourselves, centering ourselves. I'm going to pray silently, pray for protection for myself and for you. And you can ask whatever energies you connect with for messages of the highest love and light of what you need to hear. Okay. And feel free to continue asking anything you need. Oh, but okay, so I actually wanted to do today's reading a little bit slightly more structured. We're gonna try it because sometimes Spirit just like delivers whatever messages they want, however it goes. But I wanted to start off like looking at what is a blockage, an obstacle, a challenge that we're facing, and start from there. Yeah, so let's just start off with that and see if we can get some insight into what Spirit sees as our biggest challenge, and what we're feeling like we can get some confirmation and validation around what we were feeling like. Knight of Cups in reverse and Empress in reverse. Okay, so I'm getting the sense of like our connections. If someone here is in a relationship, I'm getting the sense that you may have been feeling like some challenges, some trouble connecting, some trouble aligning your desires with the desires of your partner. But if you're single, just feeling like you're missing something, missing out on a partnership that is meant for you, feeling like you missed the boat, feeling like your manifestations maybe weren't, like you were wondering if like you were manifesting the wrong thing or in the wrong way. I don't know if that'll resonate. We can get some clarifiers. And then we also have Death in reverse and the Eight of Cups in reverse. So just, yeah, just a general blockage of like feeling like unable to move forward. I'm getting that movement energy with this Knight of Cups in reverse as well. And so Spirit's just validating like we do need some clarification on how to move forward, how exactly to move forward. The reading that I did last week was all about like, it's time to progress, it's time to free ourselves. And now it's like, okay, like how? And that's so crazy. Like as I started to shuffle this card that says steps, presence, movement, came out, and oh, it's keep going. Just put one foot in front of the other, see it in the present, see whatever you want in the present. Those manifestations, you don't have to doubt the desires of your heart. Yeah, so Spirit's like giving this sense of like maybe you're a person who really wants to be pious, who really is focused on doing the right thing, and you've had these desires arise within you, and you're like, oh, that doesn't seem very like godlike, or is that too of the flesh, is that too materialistic? And Spirit's saying it's okay, like you want what you want for a reason, and you're a human being, so it's okay to desire those things. See whatever you want in the present moment. You will get there. It says solar plexus chakra, so it's like this sense of confidence that you're needing, confidence around like you being worthy of what you want, you being worthy of a divine partnership. You are worthy of it. And so the challenge and the obstacle that we have to overcome is believing that true love is meant for us, and that the, the desires of our hearts are manifestations that we've written down, that we've been trying to call into fruition. They are meant for us, but we have to start by believing it and start by seeing it in the present. And this is time. These things take time. And the keywords on this card are momentum, aging, earning. And with that word earning, Spirit's like, you don't have to, with blessings from God, it's different from the way that currency works in our world. Like, in particularly in a capitalistic society, it's like we have to earn a living, we have to pay, for, in the United States in particular, we have to pay for our health care. It almost feels like we have to earn our right to exist in a healthy, happy way. And Spirit is saying, like, the way that God works, the way that the universe works is different from that. Like, all we are required to do is show up and be our best self. It's not even do our best. It's just us showing up and setting our intention to be our best and be the light in this world. That is enough for us to call in our desires. It says divine timing is at play. You have paid your dues, and you paid your dues by overcoming whatever you went through in the past, by healing your traumas, by forgiving people, to clear away your own heart, just keeping your heart clear. It's not even about the other people, but you paid your dues by just showing up as your best, most loving self. Growing older means growing wiser. And then we have the quote, like the quotes, life happens while you're busy making other plans / man makes plans and God laughs. And then third eye chakra. So I'm just really getting like, there's a certain level of, we start off by, setting our intentions, voicing our desires, and then we allow God to kind of take over. We can ask for clarification. Is this for my highest good? And don't get too attached, of course, to how this will come into fruition, how it will look, how it will be, who it will be. Like, don't get way too specific about, how you want this person to look, that sort of thing. That's the advice that I'm getting. We have his eyes on the sparrow, and I'm pretty sure this came out in last week's reading. And so it's just this reminder that we are protected and guided no matter what. So the challenge that I'm getting is like trust in self, and like I'm getting the sense of like this push pull where there's a part of you that still doubts a little bit that God is going to come through for you, and it's okay. It's really, really okay to doubt. Like you can simultaneously have part of you that's doubting and also be a faithful person. God's like, it's okay, it's better to admit that to yourself and move forward after having admitted that, rather than trying to like force yourself to just always be in the energy of like, this is gonna happen, like God, it's tough out here when your physical doesn't reflect what you actually want. Okay, so let's get into the current energy. So we kind of got those like challenges and obstacles. I hope that made sense. And then Let's get a sense of the current energies. Maybe we can get some specifics on the table about what people are trying to move forward into, what we need, like the path that we're trying to take, or like where we're trying to get to. Like we can get some clarification, some insight, like based on the current energies, where might we be heading. I'm trying something different, so bear with me, and hopefully this is like resonating for you. Yeah, it's kind of every area of life. Okay, yeah. So we have the Magician on the table, which is more manifestation energy. But first up came out Warrior of Pentacles upright and the Wayfarer. So it looks like we're in this energy of waiting, and there's a difference between patience and just kind of like waiting around and not making a decision. Yeah, that's what I'm getting with this Wayfarer in reverse, because this is the Lovers card in the traditional deck. And the Lovers can often, of course, it talks about divine counterparts, partnership, just like how I got a love message initially. So it's that, and it's decision making. And this is, I'm getting the sense of like making a decision around what you actually want, and like releasing the shame around what you want. So right now we're kind of in an energy of waiting and indecisiveness. And Spirit is saying that definitely write down do some goal setting, some intention setting. And I'm being brought back to that solar plexus energy. The Magician is masculine energy. So masculine energy, not okay. So Spirit is saying it'll be helpful for us to tap into the divine masculine energy, not necessarily of like taking action, but like getting into that ambitious spirit and that goal oriented spirit, because a shadow side of femininity can be overly passive, like being overly passive, being kind of indecisive, and being more of like a victim of the tides of life, like letting life just carry you to wherever. And so right now we're kind of in that energy, and so Spirit is bringing to light like this would be a good time to sit down with yourself, do some dreamlining, which is like you know, coming up with like, what would my desired outcome be. And it's not about attachment to specifics, but just like, what kind of home would I want to live in? Like, what do I want out of my career? What would feel fulfilling for me, instead of just waiting around to see what life hands you, to see what the universe hands you, or what God gives you. God's like, this is co-creation, right? So you play a role in this too. You have autonomy too. I want to serve you as you serve me. We're one. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So very much also partnership is in the cards. Don't be afraid of it. Yeah, because this in reverse is very much the energy of like, yeah, waiting around for like the perfect person, waiting to feel ready. Like you're never gonna feel truly ready. And usually that whole idea of like life happens while you're busy making other plans, I'm getting even more like you haven't even been making plans. Life is just happening while you're sitting around. Maybe somebody might be moping, but some people are just in this like just passive energy of like, okay, I'm just gonna like not waste the day away, but maybe a little bit of vegging out is happening. There's no shame here. There truly is no shame. Okay, so this is the Ten of Swords, but I'm really getting from this energy like, okay, this person looks a little bit trapped. She looks a little bit trapped, and she also looks, I'm getting reminded of like this Sylvia Plath quote about like the fig tree, like the figs not being able to choose which fig you want, and then they all go bad. I don't know the exact quote, so bear with me, but the gist of it is this idea of like you're so indecisive and you're so waiting to figure out which one's the perfect, like it looks like she's choosing a sword and like kind of like looking around with like, whoa, which one? Like they're all lit up, like which one is the right one? And they all end up falling away and you kind of miss your shot. And it's not something to be overly afraid of. Like something new will come in. Like if you miss the shot at one point, is you're gonna get another shot. So this is not about pressure or worrying that you're gonna miss the boat, but it is saying, okay, it's time to take the reins a little bit. It's time to just make a choice and start from there. That's a next step that I'm getting. So that was the current energies. And now, okay, so far I'm feeling like the next step is just like goal setting, and making a decision, letting love in. I don't know. I hope this is like making sense and going well. I'm more used to like doing readings. Like I'll ask a question and get a theme, but like in terms of like the structure of the reading and the progression of it, I usually leave a little more open. So let's give Spirit some space to give us some advice. It's so crazy because I saw this card in my mind's eye. I heard the Chariot when I was saying taking the reins, but then Spirit showed me specifically. It's okay if you don't believe me, because I know sometimes it can be like doubtful when somebody says something. It doesn't matter, but I'm just like, whoa. Yeah. Okay, we'll get into it, Spirit. That's fine. So this Page of Wands in reverse, like Spirit's saying, don't confuse this idea of like coming out of the energy of waiting with like rushing things or rushing into anything. Yeah, this is more so like next steps don't necessarily have to be physical movement or taking action. Yeah, we're definitely in the planning stages, the dreaming stages, and the decision stages. Yeah, that's this Page of Wands in reverse. But then with this Chariot, it's definitely bringing that masculine and feminine into harmony. So Spirit's commending your ability to embody that divine feminine. We had gotten that Empress card in the beginning, and I was getting the sense of like in part we are embodying the Empress of being in that manifestation mode with the Magician as well. Like it's just a matter of allowing, like expanding, opening ourselves up to all of the possibilities of what it means to be the Empress and what it means to be attracting so much. It's almost like there's a fear around like this is almost like the other energies coming in towards us, like a fear of success and a fear of somebody pursuing us romantically, fear of what that means, like intimacy and all of that. And Spirit's saying, first of all, bring divine masculine and feminine into balance, into harmony in this beginning stage. So manifestation, receptivity mode, planning, goal orientation, ambition. So that's the key right now. But then also releasing the fear of what might come in as a result. Don't be afraid of like, oh, it's going to flood me. I'm not going to be ready. I'm going to be carried away, swept away too quickly. Don't worry about all of that. And then I was wondering, I was like, Spirit, is this Three of Hearts, like, or Three of Hearts, Three of Swords. What is this about? And then we have the Page of Cups in reverse. And so Spirit's giving me this sense of like we were being tied, restricted in our ability to dream by past heartbreak, past trauma, past whatever painful failures we went through, that was holding back our ability to see what could be in the future, to see what we could actually bring in, to see the possibilities of what we could achieve. Like, yeah, like when you go through failure, you think, okay, then maybe that isn't meant for me, or maybe I'm not good enough for this. I'm not able to do this. And sometimes it's like, no, it wasn't meant for you at that time, or you weren't ready yet, or maybe that wasn't meant for you, but that doesn't mean you're not meant for any success. Like it was almost like it snowballed into this like deep insecurity of like, I'll never get what I want, so what's the point in dreaming in the first place? And Spirit wants to encourage us to release that Three of Swords energy, to release ourselves, to free ourselves, like what was coming out in last week's reading. Yeah. We have the Knight of Pentacles again. So slow progress is still progress. Taking your time doesn't mean that you're not doing enough. It's almost like there's this oscillation between extremes, right? You're either like, I gotta go, 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 doing all this action without any actual sense of direction yet, or you're just in this totally waiting still energy. Like the Knight of Pentacles, some Knight of Pentacles cards, there's movement like this one, and some, the horse and the person are completely still, but it's almost like the wheels are still turning, or like that person's considering the next best path, and it's like that's still forward momentum, even if it's just internal. I hope that makes sense. So Spirit's giving me advice of release past failures, release insecurities. I know that's easier said than done. Yeah, lean on your faith. Like I feel like, I don't know if you can relate to this, or you might want to try it out, but I feel like a big jump in my confidence happened when I leaned more deeply into my faith, and I awakened even more, where I realized, okay, if God is within me, then obviously like all things are possible, that sort of thing. But it's like I'll always be able to be lifted up, back up when I fail. I'll always have a destiny that's meant for me. Any mistake I make is not unforgivable. Like anything I do is forgivable. Like any way that I fuck up, any way that I'm less than perfect, it's fine. Like I'm still made in God's image, or it's okay to just be human. And mistakes are how we learn. So this is like advice that's not so much physical, but like more of like mental and emotional shifts happening of, being able to feel secure in our connection with source, and who we are on a deep soul level. I also don't know, like this is my own internal kind of like push-pull that happens, where I'm very spiritual, but I also have like this very practical side that sometimes kicks in, where I'll like receive messages and I'm like, yeah, like exactly, but then my practical mind is like, okay, but like what does that actually mean? Like what I'm supposed to do? Like what is okay, but so what then? And so I don't know if you can relate to that. Oh, and then we have the Knight of Swords. Let's see if we can. I'm going to stick with this deck a little bit. Okay, Spirit, can we get some practical advice or additional messages, whatever the viewer needs to hear today, my friend needs to hear? Aw, Ten of Pentacles. I was immediately drawn to how happy this little girl looks, and this dog as well. And so Spirit is encouraging us to also, okay, cool, thank you. This is an action step, right? Play. That's what I'm hearing. Dance, laugh, do anything silly, childlike. If there's something you like to do as a kid, a game you like to play, don't discredit little things that you do that bring you joy. Like, even if they seem like a total side quest, a total like diversion away from your, maybe you have set goals, but you're like feeling called to do something random. That stuff actually will feed your soul and boost your ability to move towards your goals even more. It's like a refresher. It's like a replenishment of your creative, imaginative energy. Creative energy is what we want and need. That's what fuels us as human beings. Creative energy, creative power. And so Spirit's saying the best way to tap into that is to have this childlike wonder and joy and the innocence that animals have. And like, think about how much like dogs sleep throughout the day. Like, if you're feeling like I just need a nap, like that feels like my best next step. Spirit's like, okay, take that nap, sleep as long as you need to, and then you're gonna dream and you're gonna wake up feeling refreshed and more able to go after it. So there we go. That was, I don't know, that it made sense to me. I want to get one more tarot card for this deck. I'm trying to think if there's like a question we want to ask. Okay, this is going to be a word of encouragement. Okay. Yeah, thank you again for being here and listening to these messages. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm having a good time. It definitely just feels like spending quality time with Spirit and with you, viewer, wherever you are. I kind of get a sense of like your energy sometimes, but I obviously don't know who you are. Sorry, I trailed off. I just thought it was funny. I was like, I don't know who you are. And then I like looked down, but I was like trying to figure out what word of encouragement Spirit was trying to give with this Queen of Swords. And Spirit actually wants us, she's kind of frowning. Spirit's like, turn that frown upside down. There are a million reasons to smile. Spirit's giving me this sense of like these moths around her are trying to like flutter around her and cheer her up and lighten her up. So yeah, don't forget to lighten up. Yeah, and spirituality doesn't need to be serious. Like, humor is divine to me. Like, God has blessed us. Oh my gosh, Knight of Cups in reverse again. Okay, Spirit, what? Yeah, trust your ability to love and be loved. And again, like, take naps, sleep, rest, but quality rest. So meditation, naps, but not too long, and not vegging out on your phone, because it's, when we scroll on our phones, it's simultaneously like very overly stimulated. We're taking in a lot of visual stimulation at the same time as like not being able to hear our own thoughts or tap into our intuition. And so Spirit's saying like, take quiet moments for yourself, close your eyes. Like, I sometimes, so Spirit's bringing to mind, I have this joke of like, I'm in my darkness right now, which is, it sounds ridiculous and like you're in the dark, like what does that mean? How is that comforting? But like sometimes, like especially as sensitive people, right, we get overstimulated, and closing my eyes really helps me sometimes. Like even just then I like felt myself immediately going back to center. So that's advice, like quality rest and trust. Yeah, we have Seven of Swords. You're kind of having trouble trusting. Yeah, you've got somebody coming in, or you have a romantic offer on the table, or your partner is trying to get through to you and be lovey-dovey, and you're kind of stressing about other things. Like, let that love in. You deserve it. Soften yourself to love. Let's get a final message from our oracle deck, and then we'll call it a day. The Cosmic Heart, Devotion, Potency, Making Your Life a Living Prayer. So this is about that faith and divinity. Yeah, our divinity is so multifaceted. Our spiritual life is so multifaceted, and there's times to be serious, there's times to cry, and there's times to laugh, and there's times to play, and there's times to get to work, and there's times to rest. Yeah, in every season. Yeah, and then that time card, it's still on the top of the deck, like Spirit saying there's like our spiritual life and like being devoted to God means like leaving space and time for all of our ways of being human. Double mission, light worker, starseed, serve the world by being you. And look, she's got her eyes closed. Yeah, so just meditate on what you have been feeling like is your purpose, or just what you want to do, and know that it's okay if it feels dualistic. It's okay if it feels like there's multiple things, multiple avenues. Maybe there's a season when you're giving talks, and then there's a season when you're holed up in a room by yourself writing a book. Like maybe there's a season to go out and dance and network at the club or network at parties, and then there's a season to be in your pantsuit or whatever and like be more Queen of Swords. So just leave space. That's our next step, is to dream, make plans, get an ambitious energy, play and rest in equal measure, and just leave space for it all. We're multifaceted, and that's a beautiful thing, and that's the way that we're in God's image. God is everything. That's like so expansive. So embrace that. Stillness, yeah, and just meditative energy. Never doubt like the power of meditation. Like sometimes in the moment you'll just feel like, oh, that was nice, that was relaxing, but I didn't really get much out of it. And then like you'll start noticing later in the week you're like feeling more tapped in, you're feeling more clear-headed, especially over time. Like I've noticed just so much easier to think and to hear my own voice and my own heart the more that I meditate. Okay, so I am sending you a lot of love, a lot of light, and if you decide to come back next week, I'll see you then. I come back on Sundays. All right, love to you.